It was scary and terrible. Unfortunately, not enough of us knew what was happening or believed what was happening.
There was a great deal of confusion, chaos, and crisis where we really didn't have certainty about what was causing the epidemic.
People were dying like flies, and we were completely ignorant of that somehow.
In the earliest days of the epidemic, GMHC was born out of a community that helped ourselves. We need that again now more than ever.
When we first started out, we were basically a caregiving organization, a lot of linking up of people with services and trying to address issues of stigma, this kind of thing.
They were really the only agency that served clients really day to day on the ground, dealing with the needs of people who were HIV positive and had very limited opportunities then.
If I had had less quality care, not gotten the right medicine, had been stressed out over housing, not had a place to live, I may not have lived. So it's not an exaggeration to say that GMHC saved my life.
Our goal at GMHC, and I think it's a goal we aspire to, but I think in large measure we've already achieved it. You have to look at the whole person because we're all whole people. And that's what we try to do here at GMHC.
We offer so many services at GMHC. Some you may know about, like HIV testing, prevention, and supportive counseling. But there are so many more that you may not know about, like hot meals, workforce development, and legal services for immigrants.
We've been walking for 30 years, and we will continue to walk until we find a cure.
One of the things that GMHC is really widely known for around the city is the annual AIDS Walk in May of every year. We have over 30,000 people every year who walk, and it's so critical to GMHC's mission, reminding people all over the city that the AIDS epidemic is still out there and it's still an issue that needs attention and awareness.
I came to the GMHC in 1996 with a death sentence, looking for support and answers, and I found the support here. So what the GMHC has done for me is supported me my entire life with AIDS.
Success is seen in some very visible and simple but dramatic numbers. For those who test positive at the GMHC testing center, they have a 90% viral suppression rate, and that is twice the average of New York City and 3.5 times the national average.
Every single day of every single year, people in this country and in New York City keep getting infected with the HIV virus. And when someone's infected with the HIV virus, unfortunately, since we don't have a cure, they stay infected with the HIV virus. And the fact that that number hasn't gone down, that it's still 50,000 people a year every year, is evidence of the fact of how much more work we have to do.
There are still parts of our community where HIV is on the rise, in particular, transgender women of color, as well as young, gay, Black, and Latino men.
Victories are great in the LGBT community. We've come a long way, even from when I came out. But also, while we're celebrating those victories, we're also forgetting that people are still getting infected.
Today, an HIV diagnosis is no longer a death sentence, so people have become complacent about HIV and AIDS.
The drugs are out there that'll keep you going. They won't cure you, they just keep you going, side effects and all. So that's enough for a lot of people. They don't want to know anything else. The gay population is apathetic. They don't want to be fighters, and we have to be fighters. That's why GMHC is more important than ever.
Many of our clients who come to us are people who don't have support systems of their own to handle those things and don't have necessarily the income levels or the other services that are available to many other people who are diagnosed.
When you're constantly worried about, where the money is going to be coming to pay your rent and just to buy food, you start living in survival mode. It's hard to keep up with your doctor's visits when you have so many economic pressures on you.
If you don't have a place to live, if you don't have a job, if you're sick and don't have your medicines, then equality under the law is a nice abstract concept, but that's all it is. And so what we're trying to do here at GMHC is make sure that the entire community, nationwide, can enjoy and experience equality. And the way to do that is to make lives for those least fortunate in our community the same as the lives of everyone else.
We are at a promising crossroads to end HIV and AIDS. Science and research tells us we are increasingly closer to ending this epidemic. We need your support now more than ever.
It is not enough to talk about just lowering new HIV infection rates. We must voice what we all know, but are often too afraid to say. We must find a cure.
GMHC is one of very few organizations out there that is battling on all fronts. We need this organization to be as strong as it possibly can be.
We don't have a cure for AIDS, and there's no excuse for that. We need to have a cure. We should be able to figure out how to have a cure. There are a lot of smart people in this country. There's a lot of great developments happening every day in biomedicine, and we need to make sure that those developments happen with respect to a cure for HIV and AIDS.
We've won many battles. It's now time to win the war, and we can only do that with your help. Imagine that you could be part of ending AIDS. Think about that headline. The AIDS epidemic is over.